Well, what I'm doing here is some maintenance on this General Motors gearbox. It's the F16, actually the D16, the Daewoo's counterpart with the... It's actually the same, it only has a hydraulic clutch disengagement attachment, so yeah. The first thing I'm doing is changing the oil because, believe it or not, this was running dry for 5 years or so. Well, I will say like 2. If you see the oil, now it's dripping on the road, on the street anyways. It's as dark as the oil that you're taking out of a diesel engine, but no, that's just the oil I added before like 2 months. So some places to look out for a leak are the axles, like here. I can tell that there's no oil coming out, so the seals must be alright. I will change those anyways, but I have some stubborn nuts, so yeah, maybe some other time. This side here looks to be alright too, only sludge from the road. This cap also looks to be alright, except of the sludge. This side also looks to be alright. So fixing an oil leak from the oil pan cap is usually just fine, because at the same time you can change the oil, because the only way on this gearbox to completely drain the oil is by removing that cap. So yeah, mine had a leak there, so yeah, I will refresh the whole thing down there and I will fill the oil again. Since I can't find any easy way to add oil, I will just be sure that I have exactly 1.7 liters of oil, and I will dump it on the breather hole. That usually works just fine. Any leftover oil inside after adding 1.7 liters won't hurt it, and basically if it's overfilled you will see oil coming out of from the breather hole, so yeah, you will know what's going on. Another thing to check out is when you change the clutch plate and the disc, this turns out to be a mess if you don't change it. It's the guide of the spring here, and it usually goes bad pretty easily. There's a seal behind which took me like a day to figure out where it was, as I could feel this was just metal covered in all these sludge after I immediately removed it from here. And yeah, you can change the seal or get a set that includes a you know, a guide with a seal and an O-ring here and such kind of stuff. And yeah, anyways, so if you see oil coming out from this side of the engine, the input axle seal might be the case. Check out if this is the problem. You will see sludge formed on the downside of the bell housing, and as you can see here, I've got some oil. And yeah, this indicates that the seal definitely had some leak. I already know, but anyways. Now, if this side is clean, or if there's oil here, but nothing appears to be leaking out from the axle, the problem might be the crankshaft seal or the oil pan gasket. So I fixed the guide with a brand new seal. So I got today, this one, got it for 4.5 European, and I saved like 15 bucks, as this goes up to like 20 bucks or so. I could find one, a set, I mean a guide with a new seal and an O-ring for this place here, but anyways, I could just fix it. And fixing this leak is pretty important, because I've got this this disc destroyed because oil was leaking out on the friction material, and it was slipping up to the point that it got polished. I got it cleaned, but doesn't have any grip on it. Yeah, well, it could last like 5,000 kilometers more, but yeah, it's hassle to remove the gearbox to change this thing, so yeah, why not now? And in case this seal is good, but the crankshaft seal leaks, the same thing can happen as well. This seal goes here. It's a new seal, but you know, screwdriver that I was using trying to install it, because it chewed this lip here, got it destroyed, so yeah. Anyways, and as for the oil change from the gearbox that had run dry, yeah, I bet it has less than 5 years now. Damn. By the way, this engine is removed because it was a replacement engine, but it turned out being a disaster. Someone had done a terrible honing job, and it had severe blow-by coming out of the oil cap, and the crankcase ventilation system was so severe that it was pressurizing the intake, and the engine was thinking that the throttle was open, so it had an idle at 3k RPM or so. So yeah, you gotta be careful with those. The previous one only had a blown head gasket, but I said, why not get one that is good in the first place instead of repairing the old one. But yeah, I was wrong. Now I'm gonna fix the previous one. It's even better than this one. Even if it didn't have the honing problem, it's still in a better condition. Now it's time to install the differential cover back on, and for that I'm not gonna use a gasket, but instead I'm gonna use a gasket maker. And the reason why is because this is dented. The surface is not exactly true straight, so this will give it a little bit more of flexibility than use a standard gasket, which will compress 2 millimeters to 1, then that's it. So yeah, we will see. Also, this is not a continuous surface, as you see here. It has some some passages and such kind of things. So I will try to make it as good as possible. I'm not gonna use a continuous bead pattern. And anyways, we will see. This doesn't look that good, but hey, it's gonna compress. Now the real tricky part is how to hold it down there and attach some screws so it will eventually get compressed. But yeah, we will see. So now that the gasket maker is done, we're gonna add some oil. I will dump the oil in the breather hole because that's the easiest and basically the quick and dirty way to refill the gearbox. For that I'm gonna use an 8590 because this is what I found cheap for 5 European bucks per liter, but normally I will use a ATF. Most people refill this with ATF, or people use this oil here, so yeah. Some people say that you have to fill it with 2 liters, others say that you should fill it with 1.6, 1.7, 1.9. I couldn't find out any official figure, but it previously had 2.2 liters inside, and it didn't seem to have anything weird on it, even though this was the amount I put after I figured out that the gearbox was running dry, almost dry. So yeah, I will put this funnel here and add the oil. But before you do such things, do check the manufacturer's recommended amount that you should put and the grade and all this kind of stuff. So yeah. So I filled the gearbox with 1.7 liters of oil. I secured the breather hole and put this cap back on, and this job is now done. Thanks for watching, and I hope you did learn something by watching me doing all this kind of stuff. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Any likes or dislikes are of course welcome. Thanks.